really freaking me out that I had one. I don't know why. It's not good. I don't know if I'm dehydrated. Hello friends, it is 6:30. I don't know if I've talked to you. It's just been a day. Wow. It's kind of a wreck in here. Everybody just left. It's just me and Piggy. But let me get you up to speed. We got up kind of normal for us being me and the kids. Jack slept in a bit. My husband slept in a little because he took the day off for his COVID shot. So he, instead of heading downstairs at 7, he was heading down at 8. At 9, the groceries came, so I put those away and had breakfast, and he headed out to his shot. He had a morning appointment. He went a little early, so they let you come anytime on that day. He got there just as the line was picking up, so it wasn't too bad for him. It wasn't wrapped that far around the building. And then I got to work. Luckily, the label draft that I did last night, on a whim, I did some updates. I often just go ahead and try some things before he answers, and it often works out, and it did. He liked what I did, so that is done. He just had a text edit, so I did that. Then I did my invoices for March and April. Then I also made a new calendar for the family. I don't know if I've ever shown you. We had free calendars that came with some like little kids magazine a relative gave us. Thank you, Carol. We always love that, but it ran out. So the past few months I've been making these little Kirby calendars, and I put our dates. I just our vacation. My husband always uses it to mark the dogs, like flea and tick and heartworm. So I try to keep the next month ready to go. So because it's Sebastian's, oh my gosh, Stephanie, seriously. Because it's Sebastian's birthday month, I made a Kirby cake one. They've all been Kirby themed. I started with like cherry blossom Kirby, and then May was pool Kirby for our beach trip, and now birthday Kirby. So I did that, and then we had lunch, and my husband said if we waited, he would walk with us. Sebastian had requested the forest loop where we would drive over the parking lot and then walk, but I was like, oh, if you're with us, let's just do a big walk. So we did almost 7 miles. We did end up briefly on the forest loop, but yeah, it was a good walk. Big push for me at the end trying to get up the hill. I was having a good heart day. Like my heart was still getting up to 175, which is bad, but I wasn't feeling like I was about to pass out and couldn't breathe. So that was good. But after we got home, I played for a little bit with Sebastian, and then I got a migraine aura. And I'm really freaked out by this because I haven't gotten one since I went on blood thinners after my stroke. Like, but in the month afterwards, I had some really weird ones, and then nothing for years. And I've always gotten them since I was like a teenager. Just migraine auras, sometimes with a headache, just because you have this freaking flashing rainbow ziggy zaggy crescent where getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It gives you a headache. But it's not, I don't think it's the same as like a migraine headache that's the pain. It's a migraine aura. And things that I've read, research I've read, has said that potentially it's little like clots, little infarcts behind your eyes that are causing your brain to have the migraine aura. And it made sense because I went on the blood thinners and they stopped. They just stopped completely. I'm on aspirin now, not injectable blood thinners anymore, but it still does a good job. It keeps me very watered down. Hey, I'm talking here. It gives me these little red blood spots like everywhere. I don't know if you can see, they're everywhere. They're always popping up too. It's a side effect of being on aspirin and blood thinners. But yeah, it's really freaking me out that I had one. I don't know why. It's not good. I don't know if I'm dehydrated. I didn't skip my medicine. Sometimes I skip days when I'm on my period because it's just ridiculous. And I was gonna skip tonight because I'm on day 5 and it's still a little ridiculous. But I'm not gonna skip it now. Not if I just had a migraine aura. It's finally gone, so I feel like I'm human again. It hit right before dinner arrived and I couldn't see and my head was hurting and I felt dizzy and like puking and I get a little confused, but it's all past and it's just like night and day. There's like a 5-minute period when my vision starts to come back and I still feel a little off and shaky, and then it's like it never happened except I have a little bit of a headache. I don't know. I didn't have any warning except I did have some sinus pain right here just briefly right before. I don't know if it's related or if it's the fact that I was outside and my allergies were really bad. Hey, you're being a butt. I know nobody's here and there's people walking by and kids are playing and there's doggies, but please, he likes to protect me when nobody's here. Anyway, by the end of dinner, I was better. We got some Mediterranean food and I have a new kit that's arrived, so I'm gonna go down and start fussing with that. Leave it. Oh, Jax is coming back already. He must not have seen his friends. I was gonna say that my husband, I know he's gonna check the other playground. He's heading across. He wants to check the big playground. He's gonna check that one. He was going out to see if his friends were out at the park because they invited him to go to the park right when dinner was arriving. And we're like, no, but you can go after. And then Sebastian's like, I want to go to a park. So my husband is walking to the big, huge trailside park. That's half a mile away, not in our neighborhood, but just outside of it. And, well, I mean, it's not just outside of it, but you can get to it on the trail side. So hopefully Sebastian does okay walking back from that. That's more of the issue because he'll be tired from playing, but my husband will get him to do it. Anyway, yeah, so I'm gonna go downstairs with some coffee and a little treats. And maybe I'll bring this guy with me because he's being a butthole. Hey, come here. Yeah, so that's our day so far, and I think all that's going to happen is I'm going to work on my new kit. Maybe I will film some and show you. Maybe I'll be watching videos on my phone and I won't be able to film. But yeah, got nothing else to say, so I'm gonna go get my coffee before it gets cold and I have to microwave it. as you can see and hear because they're reading and making obnoxious noises. I'm not feeling great from this migraine. Unfortunately, it's one of the ones where the headache after the aura stops kind of keeps getting worse. And it just makes me feel bad all over. So much so that I just took my temperature because I'm like, why do I feel so bad? I can tell my forehead is not hot. I don't have chills. My temperature was 98.7. It's just the migraine, and I just feel really bad from it. It just scares me that I got an aura after not having any since my stroke. What does that mean? Like, I haven't had any flukes at all for almost 5 years. Why did I suddenly have one? Anyway, I'm enjoying my new kit so far. The painting of all those pieces is going to be a challenge. I just took the first 3 sections, did the gluing that they needed, sanded them down, and sprayed them with some old ass white spray paint I found down there. I had to give it a solid spraying onto some cardboard to get chunks out of it. So hopefully I don't regret my choices, but I figure I can sand it and hand paint it if it comes out bad. So I've done one side of those 3 pieces and I walked away, I left it, and can you guys be quiet? And I switched to working on the baseboard of the kit. It's very busy and interesting, all sorts of different floorings, and I got to work with fake grass, which is fun. That took a long time, but very mellow and soothing to do. Put your toys away or go to bed with no videos.
Won't listen, he just keeps playing.
Put your toys away. They get to stay up extra to read together, and Sebastian takes advantage of it and just plays the whole time. Anyway, I've got to go to the store tomorrow because I forgot to add their allergy medicine to the order and they don't have enough. And I also forgot to order garlic bread for the 2 kinds of pasta that the boys requested. We weren't feeling like having pasta when we've been outside walking 7 miles. We want something lighter, so I suggested some Mediterranean. I mean, I guess they have a warm climate. They have food that just is soothing when you've been out exercising outside. So I had a falafel bowl despite being in the throes of my migraine aura. Look up migraine aura video if you want to see what it looks like. I have the classic spot that looks like you looked at the sun, which changes to like a flashing crescent sparkle, and then it gets bigger and bigger and it has rainbow zigzaggy lines around it. Everything's flashing and the center area is blurry. It's just slightly off center enough that I can't read things unless I just read what's slightly to the right of it, so I have to like trick my brain and really focus to read anything until it gets so big that instead of being like this, it's just like out of the range. Then it's just kind of blurry, but in a weird way. Like, it's not fuzzy blurry, it's just my brain can't compute blurry. Like something is malfunctioning with my vision and everything is wrong and I can't even describe that. And that's that 5 minutes I talked about. Once this sparkling line is so big it's out of my peripheral vision, I'm left with that wrongness that slowly fades. So I start to be able to see, but it's just wrong for a little bit, and then finally it's just like, oh, I can see, and then I just brace myself to see if I get a headache and how bad it is, and it's pretty bad. I'm not really a headache person. I don't get them much. Anyway, I need to check in on my Animal Crossing and make this video, obviously. I may go down and check on the spray painted pieces, see if they're dry enough to flip, because by then it'll have been a couple hours, but if not, I'll just tackle them tomorrow evening. And yeah, that's it. I had a braid fall out in the back of my head after I washed my hair today. Doesn't happen usually because I use threads to tie up the braids, and then I put some fray check, which is kind of like thread glue, on the knot, but every now and then I forget one, and then it comes untied, and then it comes unraveled because it's only about an inch of string, and then it falls out when I brush too hard. So that happened. That little braid friend is over here waiting for me to put it back in, and no string in sight, so that string is long gone. So I need to get him back in. Maybe do this guy again. I did it the night before vacation, and I actually made it worse. Like, I woke up the day of the trip with it looking way worse than it did before I redid it. So maybe I'll do this too when I'm getting ready for bed. And yeah, no clue about tomorrow besides going to the store. It's really nice walking with my husband. He has not complained to me about feeling bad. He was moving his arm a little bit on our walk, but he even offered to walk Sebastian to the park, which is not close by, probably over a mile round trip. So he must be feeling pretty good. He's not in bed. I don't expect him to stay up super late, since he's got to get back to the grind tomorrow after over a week off. So yeah, that's good for him. Seems like both of us made it through our Pfizer vaccines relatively unscathed. I will say my biggest symptom was it messing up my girl cycles, making them very early. I can't say if it made it heavier. I'm on blood thinners, and from month to month you never know. Like, this month is a bad one. And I haven't gotten the vaccine this month. It's just, you never know. It's just what my life. Yeah, but we're happy to be somewhat protected. Things might really open up. I know DC wants to take away all occupancy limits indoors very soon, and Virginia is indicating June 15th could lift a lot. It's frightening for me. It gives me a lot of anxiety. When I see the numbers getting better now in the pandemic, I've got this weird mixed feelings of happiness that we're getting to the other side, and fear that we're getting to the other side, and I have to, like, live. I was already a germophobic and would have happily worn masks, but people would have looked at me like I was batshit crazy. So coming out of this, it's gonna be hard for me to give up the mask, and maybe I won't for a while. I don't know. Will people be offended if I put a mask on when I get near them? Everything, like sending my kids off to school. I know we're not gonna do it this coming year, but eventually, then they're gonna get sick and bring everything home, even if it's not COVID anymore. These things give me anxiety. They've given me some pretty awful stuff, and they don't even go to school. I don't know. I'm not in a good mood because of my pain, so I'm just gonna go. I don't want to bring you down. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay safe, be kind. Don't forget, wash those hands.